We live in a world obsessed with leadership. From self-help books to executive seminars, the pursuit of the boss title is relentless. But few pause to consider the most pressing question: can you hold significant power without letting it corrupt your heart? The Islamic concept of amana, or sacred trust, redefines the nature of power. It represents a heavy wooden yoke carried solely for the people depending on you. Modern corporate culture routinely equates leadership with dominance. Success is measured by follower counts, charisma, and the ability to extract value from those lower in the hierarchy. This extraction mindset has dominated our thinking for over a century. We looked at early industrial pioneers like Henry Ford and concluded that a strict top-down model of command and obedience was the peak of human organization. Treating power as a trophy to be won inevitably feeds the ego. When a leader views people as raw materials rather than a trust, they lose their sense of divine accountability and become trapped in their own arrogance. Defining leadership strictly through the lens of being in charge creates toxic hierarchies. It replaces healthy, thriving communities with structures built entirely on ego. Engaging with the Quran reveals a total reorientation of power. It establishes leadership as an act of profound service, where the leader exists to carry the weight of their community's needs. The first principle of this model is amana, or trust. In chapter 4, verse 58, the Quran commands believers to render trusts to whom they are due. A leader is a temporary caretaker of their followers, never their owner. That trust requires the second principle, absolute justice. Verse 135 of that same chapter demands that believers stand firmly for the truth, even if it requires ruling against themselves, their parents, or their own interests. Historical evidence of this accountability is found in the life of the second caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab. Despite governing a vast empire, Umar feared if a single donkey tripped in Baghdad, God would hold him personally responsible for failing to pave the road. Within this framework, authority is a moral loan. The moment absolute justice is compromised for personal gain, the right to lead is effectively revoked. Principle 3 is shura, or consultation. This model prioritizes collective wisdom, positioning the leader as a central node in a circle of peers. This systematically removes ego, building a consensus that protects the organization from the blind spots of a single individual. The fourth principle is mercy. Chapter 3, verse 159, explains that the prophet's influence was rooted in gentleness. It notes that had he been harsh or hard-hearted, his followers would have simply abandoned him. Fear can make people obey you. Mercy makes people trust you. Lasting influence is never extracted through dominance. It is willingly surrendered by people who feel seen, heard, and protected. Modern business theory is beginning to reflect these ancient values. Best-selling author Seth Godin argues that successful modern tribes form around shared goals and deep trust, rather than old-fashioned management. Godin identifies that trust is the engine of any community, yet this trust often collapses when a leader's self-interest takes over. The Quranic model provides the necessary infrastructure to prevent this. It makes the systematic dismantling of the leader's ego a spiritual prerequisite for holding power. This redefines the leader as a selfless caretaker. As the prophet taught, all of you are shepherds, and each of you is responsible for his flock. Governance begins with the self and scales outward to the community. Take a look at your own areas of influence. Do the people around you feel safe in your presence? Can you admit a mistake? Can you hold authority without becoming arrogant? True leadership is measured by a vigilant fear of being unfair with the power you hold. If this look at Quranic principles was valuable to you, subscribe to HALAL-SCI as we continue to explore the intersection of faith and leadership. Thanks for watching.